Hello, and welcome to What is the Function of the Brachial Plexus? I find it helpful to understand the function of the brachial plexus using a cartoon representation of the brachial plexus and related structures. This figure here represents a human, and here you can see the brain, and the cerebellum, the brainstem, and the spinal cord that is located within the vertebral spinal canal. The purple trapezoid represents the spinal canal nerve bundles from the 5th to the 8th cervical spinal cord segments and the 1st thoracic spinal cord segment. The spinal canal nerve bundles arising from the 5th to the 8th cervical spinal cord segments differ from the spinal canal nerve bundle arising from the 1st thoracic spinal cord segment. The spinal canal nerve bundles from the 5th to the 8th cervical spinal cord segments arise from the anterior motor horn cells. Their axons form the ventral rootlets and the ventral root. The other component of the spinal canal nerve bundle arises from the dorsal ganglion, whose proximal fibers form the dorsal root and the dorsal rootlets. The distal fibers of the dorsal ganglion cells join the spinal nerve. The spinal canal nerve bundles from the 1st spinal cord thoracic segment arises from the anterior motor horn cells, but also from the sympathetic motor neurons in the medial horn. The axons from these motor neurons form the ventral rootlets that join to form the ventral root. The fibers from the ventral root join the distal axons of the dorsal ganglion cells at this level, thus forming the 1st thoracic spinal nerve. So now that we know the components of the spinal canal nerve bundles and the formation of the spinal nerve, we will add a yellow parallelogram to represent the brachial plexus. From the brachial plexus arises motor nerves to innervate the striated muscle of the upper limb, and sensory nerves to innervate superficial structures, and deep structures such as bone, joints, and muscles, and sympathetic nerves. In the arm and face, the sympathetic fibers innervate the arterial musculature, the hair muscles, and the sweat glands. In the face, they innervate the muscle of Mueller and the pupillary dilator muscle. So, this brings us back to the question, what is the function of the brachial plexus? The brachial plexus is the bridge between the nerves of the upper limb and the 5th cervical to the 1st thoracic spinal nerves. It allows information from the upper limb to reach the central nervous system, and the central nervous system to send commands to the upper limb. And that's the function of the brachial plexus. Thank you very much for watching.